D Wade, top 3 shooting guard to ever touch the hardwood, and is criminally underrated in his performances and playoff performances. Just the recency bias that some of these former NBA players have, and just the dumb casual NBA fans that don't know shit about hoops. But today, I want to talk about a young and hungry D Wade. Before the big three, or Olympic Wade. Just a young Wade, a hungry killer, and going after any shooting guards or just top players in the league. Which brings us right into the 05 Eastern Conference Finals against the defending champ Detroit Pistons team that went off the moniker just playing hard physical defense and being a team. Nobody giving a fuck about their stats or if they're gonna make player of the week, player of the month, but it's just about getting that W, and that's what the Detroit Pistons defined. And with this being D Wade's second year in the league, taking Miami to new heights, this game 2 really showed that it was a new shooting guard in the stomping grounds, and he was going to be a rude awakening for the league. Let's get right into it. Let's look at young point guard Wade bringing the ball up court, being guarded by Tayshaun Prince, a second team all defender this year. Look how he gets that screen to the right, hit a nice reverse layup with his left hand. But again, I said second team all defense. D Wade was on that team. Look at him, just trying to stop the play and fuck shit up. Got here another possession where Miami gets a stop and they out on the races. Look where they instantly find D Wade. Mind you, this is young Wade, healthy knees. Got him trying to rise up and catch a body over Rasheed Wallace, and then throws a crazy ass pass to the corner for a turnover. But this is what you love to see from your young guy. You know, he out there to send a message and letting people know they ain't sweet out here in Miami. Offense possession down for the Heat. Look how D Wade goes through that screen and he instantly attacks for a Euro step with the right hand. Mind you, it's terrible spacing on the floor and there's 2 to 3 bigs down low trying to get a block. It's a tough finish. And in the beginning of the video when I was saying point guard Wade, yes, Steve Van Gundy had Wade running point guard for a little bit. Look here where he's got the ball up type in the ISO. Nice jump shot pass to Shaq. Finish, easy. Next possession down. Look how D Wade draws the defense in. Boom, gets a nice dot ball off to Zoe and the finish. Look at this other action we got here where D Wade's taking the ball out. This is a 23-year-old making a move to get to his spot. Look how he rejects the screen. That quick ass first step. Gets into the defense. 3 eyes are on him. Nice dump off the shot. Last possession down for both teams in this first quarter. Look how Rip Hamilton gets his spot and rises up to the mid-range and knocked down. Look how the Heat already know where they're going to. 1-4 flat with D Wade up top. Look how LB's already trying to switch the defenders and making Tayshaun Prince guard D Wade. And again, mind you, this is D Wade's second year in the league and he's getting coverages and looks like this. Look at the defenders and 3 eyes are on him. They know he's about to take it inside. Look how he gets to the paint with a nice spin move. Draws the foul. Boom, we're going to the line. And that's what you love about young Wade and just D Wade in general. His play style was just attack, added with seeing what the defense was going to give to him. Just counter-attacking and counter-attacking to get to his spots. First possession in this second quarter for D Wade. Look how he gets in the game and there's a turnover caused by the Pistons. Look at the hustle to get back and get a quick smack at the ball and the stop and then going the other way. Shit you love to see from your young guy. And again, your favorite shooting guard never does. I don't care how he makes the game look on the offensive end. It's about winning. And when you want to be called one of them ones, you got to show up on both ends. And especially in the playoffs. That's something that Harden has never done. But that's another video for another day. A couple possessions later, we got a nice player where he get a stop on a tough midi from Rip. Look how they hauling the rebound. Look for D Wade. As soon as D Wade gets the ball, he's instantly in attack mode. Look how it's a one-on-one fast break pretty much. Does a nice Euro step, gets in the defense and foul. And of course knocking down both free throws. And again, I can't stress this enough. It's attack mode for D Wade. Another great stop and offensive possession for the Heat. Gotta throw ahead passes out and D Wade's already on the break waiting for the ball. Fills the lane correctly and gets rewarded for a nice finish. That's what you love. He's moving off the ball. He's not stopping waiting for the ball to bring it up or just walking it down. And you see why he made a defensive team and just hustling out there. Look at the dive on the floor for the loose ball. His teammates luckily grabbing it and getting fouled. But again, that's the shit you love to see. Again, things that you love to see. Look how the Heat get a stop, and they pushing it on the brink. Look at D-Wade not walking. He's running down the court, and he had his man beat on the cut. You see why D-Wade was the point guard, of course. But and as we wrapped up the first half, D-Wade had a pretty solid one. Gave me about 14 points and shooting 6 for 6 from the free throw line. But the second half showed a killer in the making. Now one of the worst possessions for this Miami Heat offense. Look how they slow the pace down and get the ball to Shaq down low for a nice easy post up. Look at the hard double team coming from Rip. Look how D-Wade plays off his big man, gets inside for a nice sneaky cut, a great pass from Shaq, and a finish from D-Wade. That's what you love to see, not just ball watching, waiting for the rock to come his way from the 3-point line. He's going to work off his big and get an easier shot. And I can't stress this enough. This is your 23-year-old second-year player making plays like that and not just being selfish, actually making the right play to succeed. Look here where he fakes the pass inside, gets a nice kick out to Christian Laettner for 3, just off the defense penetrating and closing in on him. And look here where his hands get dirty and he going for a loose ball after a miss on Rasheed Wallace. Once he grabs that rebound, look how he goes to work and does a nice crossover on Ben Wallace, leaving him stunned, and he's out on the break. Look at him, his eyes up. Yeah, he can go to the rim or pass to Christian Laettner. Kick out to Damon Jones for 3. It's a miss, but still, it's the process. Your 23-year-old making these plays, you love to see. And right here, we see an aggressive 2-guard making shit look poetic out there. Look how he comes off the screen, gets right through in the middle off the Ben Wallace help. Boom, a nice layup. But then another offensive possession. We about to go off Shaq now. He uses that fake screen, gets the handoff, goes right to the basket, get fouled. Of course, making both free throws. And that's the shit you love to see. I can't keep stressing this enough in just D-Wade's game. It was poetic aggressiveness. Look here, he brings the ball up. Boom, he's setting off. And as soon as he gets that right down screen, he goes right through the middle with the help of Rasheed Wallace. Gets the ball to Christian Laettner with a nice find to finish. This shit is crazy. And notice I haven't even talked about the score yet, because it looked like the Heat was going to run it up on this team. But that's the thing about this Pistons team. They was poised in a championship team. They've been there before. And I got to give it up to Chauncey Billups, because he definitely was the head honcho of this team. Look how he makes that big time shot, just trying to wake his team up. Boom, they get another stop on the Heat. And they're only down 2 with about 30 seconds on the clock in this third quarter. Look how Chauncey is directing and setting the offense up. Look how he moves everybody to the position and he gets his big man up in the middle. Look how he's ready for ISO and post up. He's not playing with his food, he's getting right to the cup. Look how he passes out, get good positioning. Alright, bet, let's go back to work. Now he takes that step in, he sees the help coming. Boom, Lindsey Hunter for that 3-ball. Knockdown. That's the shit you love to see. First possession down for this Miami Heat team, down 1. Look how D-Wade is not playing with his foot and he's instantly in attack mode. Look at that low-hanging crossover to his left hand, knowing he has his defender beat and he can't recover. Adds a spin move to a float. It's just different. It's just different. And D-Wade got it. If my guys ain't got it going right now, we're a little sloppy on the defensive end and offensive end. We can't hit shots really. I'm going to be aggressive. I'm not going to wait for the offense to come to me. Next possession down for this Heat team on the defensive end. Look how they all stay on 5s and stay locked in and they get a good stop. As soon as they get the rebound, D-Wade's getting in and he's pushing the rock. Look at his eyes up and nowhere looking for any opens. Look at his between the leg hesitation. Uses the inside screen and instantly gets in attack mode and try to rip the rim off. Getting the crowd hype and you can just feel the intensity after that dunk. It's a straight momentum shift. What you gotta love is D-Wade is feeling himself at this point. He feeling like he has the hot hand and he's about to keep on attacking. I'm not waiting again. I can't stress this enough. I'm gonna keep going. Look how he gets right into his ISO bag with a nice in and out. Tayshaun Prince takes the bump. It's a finish and 1. But it's cold on the ground. But you could tell D-Wade is definitely feeling himself and he sees something in the defense. So look here. We running it back up top with D-Wade with the ball. Look how he's right in his ISO package. And you know what he's about to do. Fuck a pass, we getting right to the drive. Nice spin move. Good hands by Tayshaun Prince. Shaq gets bundled inside. They send everybody to him. D-Wade gets the ball. Gets a nice tip and rebound. They almost caused a turnover. And I possibly could have got hit in the hand on that play. But that don't stop me from doing the little things on the court. And just for D-Wade being this Second year player, he really knew how to pick his spots. But he uses the screen, Tayshaun Prince plays under it. Okay, I'm gonna dig right deep into the defense. Added with a nice step back to his midi, knockdown. The next possession down. You gotta love the intensity that D-Wade brings on the defensive end. Yes, I got a bucket, and they're gonna try to attack the man that's on the high end. Clearly, he's tired. No, I'm taking on the challenge to get a stop as well. Look at him, playing physical, trying to make Tayshaun Prince not get positioning. Takes the charge with a nice bump to the chest, getting the crowd hype and his teammates hype. A great defense possession coming up from the Heat. Look how they get a stop and they're pushing on a break, instantly finding D-Wade. D-Wade is about to attack a 2-on-1 position and fast break. Look how he uses the overhead Euro to reverse layup with the left hand with a finish. And if I miss it, I'm going up to get this rebound to put it back. The effort, level of intensity, acrobatic play just to get the ball up in the air, and maybe getting fouled on the play too. But like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, all my Hoop fans know this Detroit Pistons team was locked in and solid on all aspects of the game. Look at Chauncey hitting the big time 3 to shut the crowd up and gain a 2-point lead right back. But the response from D-Wade was just different. Look how he brings the ball up court, and he already know what he wants. Look how he gets that screen from Alonzo up right. As soon as he attacks that right screen, he gets low to the outside and gets low and cuts his way back into the inside to get to his hop step into a spot for a nice midi pull up. And right now we just watching a young killer bring everything out the toolbox. Next possession down after they just tied the game out with that tough bucket from D-Wade. Look how they're playing in a nice man-to-man set defense, and they're all on point in what they're doing, leading to a great contest on Rip Hamilton in the mid-range. But look how D-Wade get in and try to go get a rebound, physical rebound at that, and that's against Antonio McDyess. It's no slouch. And that's what you gotta love and what we stressed about in the beginning of the video. His off-ball movement was to success. Look how Damon Jones directs the offense, and D-Wade uses Shaq to perfection to fake the screen and go backdoor for oop, defining the moment of just taking over a game. And again, this is your second year player. Next offense possession for this Heat team. Look how D-Wade is feeling himself. And you gotta give respect and props to Steve Van Gundy for keeping him in the game sometimes and just playing through his mistakes, because he knew this kid wasn't gonna cheat the game. He was gonna play both ends of the ball and make up for that turnover. Look here, boom, they get a nice defensive possession on the Pistons and they get a missed shot. Look how D-Wade is called Flash for a reason. Look how he's moving off ball and he beats Rip Hamilton, Tayshaun Prince, and Chauncey down the floor for an easy layup. And with this Heat team up 5 with about 2:45 remaining in this fourth, you know this Pistons team is still going to fight. Look here where they get an offense possession with D-Wade cutting, and possibly could have been a foul or a block. But you don't hear him complaining to the ref. Look at him running back down and getting a block and making it an easy fast break for this Heat team, pushing his lead to 7. But fighting is what this Pistons team did. Look how Chauncey directs the offense to get a swing to Rip Hamilton in the corner. Uses that momentum to get to the drive, finish with a floater and one. This team was different. The lead down to 3 now. D-Wade is ready to put a dagger in him and send him back to Detroit, and the series tied 1-1. Look how he's bringing the ball up and Tayshaun Prince is guarding him up top. He gets that screen from Zoe, and they instantly send a hard double team to get the ball out of his hands with a quick, smart timeout. But look, this is what happens after. What makes you love about this 2000 basketball. Look at the ISO play for D-Wade. Step back. A great contest from Tayshaun Prince. That's why he earned that spot on that All-NBA defensive team. Now look here where Chauncey's bringing the ball up. He gets a nice screen from Sheed. As soon as he sets that screen, flares out to the top, which brings Tayshaun Prince in the corner for a driving kick to Sheed. It's a missed 3 and a quick foul going the Heat way. And shout out to the veterans on this Heat team that showed up in the second half, and especially in the fourth quarter, just being in their spots defensively and offensively. As we got the older and poised Eddie Jones knocking down the free throw. Then here we got a great defensive play for the Heat. Look how they getting the ISO up top for Rip. Great Zoe help and great Zoe block, sending it to the third row. And with no timeouts left for this Detroit Pistons team, you knew they was going to be aggressive and just foul and make it a free throw battle with a little bit of mind games. talking up court, trying to get D Wade off his swivel and focusing. He probably's not going to make both. Letting a second-year player know that he ain't been in these moments before, especially against a team like us. You definitely ain't going to make both, or you going to go 1 for 2, all that. But what you love is D Wade just sitting back, calm, cool, collected, and knocking down the first free throw and letting Rip Hamilton know that I'm not one of them. I am him. We're knocking down the second one. And to end this video off, look at the defense at the end of this fourth quarter with only 14 seconds left. Just knowing they don't want no bullshit to happen. Look at D Wade picking up top on Chauncey and going over that screen. Get a great contest on Tyshawn Prince. And why run it out? We taking it all away and finishing the game with a dunk and sending the fans home happy. When you look at this game, you could tell it was a young killer on the rise. Yeah, he probably had a couple forced turnovers and a couple bad shots, but it didn't stop him from competing on both ends of the floor, as well as just showing up big in that fourth quarter, giving you 48 and 6 with 2 blocks and a steal, and 20 points alone being in that fourth quarter. A true killer.